Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dicka dicka dam and yeah. Haha, I win again.
I'll take Dreadful.
Did I just hear Dreadbolt?
Yes.
We're talking about Tonatium, right? Not
No, I think it's
Vito?
Veto. No, yeah, we're talking about Veto.
Okay, I thought you were talking about Tonatium. I'm like, we're leveling. Number one, I wasn't quite sure we leveled.
No, we didn't. No, we did not. We were close. Decently close. Not that close.
So you're leveling the characters for the game we don't stream.
Yep. Yes.
Dreadbolt makes much more sense now.
I mean, I guess.
Dreadbolt is very much a veto spell.
Yeah, the only spell Tonatium needs is Magic Missile. Okay, Hercule. Get my mystery spell, but nothing else, so I have skills left to do, but I'll worry about that later. I'm gonna switch over to my vetoes, not Tonatium stuff. So much fire. So many goblin ears burnt away. Maybe they say you'll pay us more for stopping a vampire. They just thought it was goblins. They had no idea it was a vampire. True. Yeah. Let's. Oh yeah, I have a negative level. No. -1 to everything. -1 to everything.
-1, a -1, a -1 to everything.
Everyone gets a -1.
Take that.
You get a penalty. You get a penalty. Everybody gets a penalty. I mean, basically.
Every penalty. All right. So I take it then that we are ready to continue. Yay! I'm not. I need to. I'll get off of. I'll get off of Twitter and open up my conversion.
Let's take one more quick look at our spiels. Our spiels. Oh, I'm out of level 2 spells, so no more fire for me. Sadly. Let's see. Because you know that I have a whole portal, some color spray, the blast, and a selective alarm. I have all 5 of my level 1 spells, which include Cure Light Wounds, a Solid Note, Key Arrow, and Summon Minor Monster.
I have the last book of somebody converting this stuff for me, so starting next chapter I'm going to have to do the conversions myself. Oh, woe is me.
Oh, dear.
That's right, you can't blame me for Drakthar, because I didn't convert Drakthar.
To be perfectly honest, Drakthar isn't that hard. The goblins, on the other hand,
getting lucky.
Shut up.
It's funny because the goblins, you know, a lot of them are kind of just standard goblin variants.
Yeah.
But yeah, does anyone want to run the previously?
Kaboom! Basically.
Explosion!
So, we managed to avoid Drakthar after being separated, thanks to stealthy Magoos. We got back out. We had time to prepare more, so we finished my wand with Cure Light Wounds. But we were attacked by a shopkeeper who was being controlled by Drakthar. Then after that, we ran back inside. Immediately got like ambushed by a shit ton of goblins, but we managed to defend ourselves for a while. Then Drakthar shows up, and we beat the shit out of Drakthar for a little bit. He summons a bunch of rats, which I immediately insult to death.
And the first time you succeed, at insulting someone to death. And it's a fucking horde of rats aflame.
Yeah, then we went on our merry way to find the body of Drakthar so we can stake him and end it.
Yes. Because you are now sitting, having essentially just done that, and come around here, you are sitting at, you believe, oh, where is it?
We're in the fireworks room, I think.
Yes, you are sitting at 1d4 hours. Let's roll it. You don't know that you have 4 hours, but yeah, the countdown is on. Essentially, if you don't get to him this session,
you have to find a third time. If there's a third time.
Well, you're here in that brewery where we left off.
Stupid goblins and their stupid flammable ears.
Having burned all of your reward thus far.
What about the reward of a job well done? Nice, sir. They better charge us extra for that vampire. Charge us? We're paying them to kill a vampire? Pay extra. So mad I can't get my words right. Well, there's more goblins. Don't worry about it. I'm underground here took too long. Let's make taking that vampire quick.
Mm-hmm.
I forget which way we saw him go, though. I think he went south.
So you're not being stealthy. You may make perception checks. Yeah, you see absolutely nothing. But a small 5-foot drop. And this whole thing just kind of, this slopes downwards. It's not like there's a drop and a drop. It's a downward slope. And here you can see there's a 5-foot drop and then another 5-foot drop.
May Twig make the perception check?
Presently, no.
No? Okay. Do you think we should go this way or this way? I'd say go around the fire. I mean, like, go straight through, but avoid the fire if you can.
I'd back up if I were you, because I gave an impression of the fire earlier. If we're thinking you can sneak by it, that's not entirely accurate. It's still very much an inferno in there. In fact, it's uncomfortably warm where Turvu stands now.
I think you're fireproof. You sure we should be going that way? Well, that's fine. Let's find another rope first.
And as you step down into this smooth, worn, natural cavern, a few things immediately catch your eye. Number one, that up there at the top of this slope is a goblin alongside a warg that looks up as you hop down and looks ready to hop on. And second is a pair of crossbow bolts flying right at you from people who are hiding. Flat-footed, of course.
Both of them hit, one of them only barely hitting.
Both of them hit. Okay, and you're unaware. So that means you have your d6 damage and your sneak attack damage for both arrows. So that's 15 in total.
Alright. Okay.
So this will be initiative. If we hadn't guessed.
Ambush. That nat 20 initiative left.
Nice. And then, of course, we need these two. So he's got the same situation. And he's a pet. So, Turbo.
Well, since I took literally half my remaining health worth of damage, I'm gonna pull out my wand and use Caroline Wands on myself.
Okay.
For almost as much as I took.
81 reloads a crossbow and fires once more.
Missing.
This new type of goblin takes a move action to get on the warg and marches it into a position, apparently trying to line up with you. 20 TM.
Oh dear.
So what you can see, of course, is 29 having shot an arrow at Turvu.
I'm gonna put up my ward, my barrier.
Huzzah.
Yeah, 2 more AC. Yay. Counts as deflection. Yay. That's a standard action, so that's more or less it.
Okay. 29. Seeing Tanatium is going to make a shot at him. Does 17 hit Tanatium?
Ouchies.
Well, it's not as bad as two sneak attacks. Not by a long shot.
Ow.
Turvu. One might say you're in danger.
I'm in danger. What kind of action is it to step back up?
It would be a move action.
Step back up.
Yep. No climb check necessary because it's, chest high.
Yeah. And I'm going to throw my star knife at 29.
That does not hit. Well, 81 can't get a shot on you, so 81 has to come over here to reposition and fire. Nope, 81 can't fire. 81 has to reload. Our Silent Wolf Goblin Rider comes charging down here, leaping off the back of his warg to attack you with his long sword. And you are not a dwarf. Warg does not have the ability to attack you here. Tonatium.
My first shift, I'm going to... Nope. Magic missile time on one.
Okay.
What is it? 3d4 plus 3. You!
The bolts all strike the goblin in the chest, and it seems far less phased than you expect it to be otherwise.
He's a tough boy.
29. Can't really get a good shot on Tonatium anymore. So back to Turvu.
Missing.
Turvu.
I will Arcane Strike Silent Wolf Goblin Rider.
That will most certainly hit.
4 plus 1. Plus 3 plus 1. Plus 3 plus 1.
So 81 fires at Turvu.
Missing.
The Silent Wolf Goblin whips out a potion. A translucent orange potion that smells like raspberries, and drinks it down. For whipping out another potion, a cloudy, foul-smelling green potion, and drinking it down. And then the goblin kind of hunches over, retching and twitching. Tonatium.
I don't know, should I? Continue to shoot 151. Pew pew!
Okay. 29 fires at Tonatium. Not Tonatium, Turvu, I'm sorry. Neither has a shot on Tonatium. Turvu. We forgot to have the warg do his thing.
Oh yeah, wargy woo.
It's okay. Wargy who is just kind of coming over here, sniffing at your feet.
I'm gonna Arcane Strike again.
That will hit. So close. It's so far away. The Silent Wolf Goblin, dripping blood from all of its wounds, standing here at 1 hit point, takes its final potion and drinks it. A red potion that smells of flowers. And then
explode or something.
Rears back with the long sword and attacks. And at this point, it is now that.
Hits.
Actually, that's a crit. That is not a crit threat.
Nope.
For 9 damage. And because it hit you, he gets to make a combat maneuver. Which means that as he hits you, he manages to fake you out and rip the sword out from you. Another 1 damage.
Ow.
Tonatium. Oh, wait, before Tonatium, Warg. Can't forget Wargy. Who finally goes to bite at Turvu's feet.
No, I need those.
Does 19 bite you?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Does that beat your CMD?
No.
Okay. It does not manage to yank your feet out from under you and pull you to the ground.
Good, because I need those.
Just 8 damage. Now Tonatium. Please tell me you're not hurt too bad, Turvu.
I'm at 7.
Okay.
I'm going to keep casting magic missiles at 151.
Alright. Yeah, that's way more than the 4 hit points he's got. Well, 29 still has no shot on anyone but Turvu.
Miss.
Turvu.
I can't hit with shit.
Turvu.
5 foot shift back. And Cure Light Wounds 1.
So there, 81 has no shot on you. So we're going to be coming around over here to fire up at you.
Alright, we'll catch it.
Oh. Tonatium.
Shoot. I will, I'll bring the barriers down, so I'll bring it back up this turn. Alright.
Okay. 29 fires once more. Oh, and we forgot this boy. He's going to be at the end now because his boss is there and he's slightly sad. He can take his move action to scramble up that. And not hit. Taboo.
I'm going to start juggling the arrow I caught and one of the star knives, and I'm going to arcane slash at Schward. That's great, though.
That is a crit fail. Whoop, bup, ba da 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 da.
Exactly, I'm not Dora and can't malfactor that yet.
51, 51, 51, 51. Does this count as a melee or a ranged attack?
It is a melee.
Okay. Would you roll me a d8?
Oh no!
So you lose your grip and your star knife, instead of going to slash at the warg, flies backwards out of your hand, barely missing Tonatium's face. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's in the middle of the fucking fire.
Well, that's one star knife gone for good. Is it gonna burn up right away? I mean, it's oil fire, it's probably gonna melt.
And our goblin sneak.
No.
Tonatium.
Yeah, I'm gonna, those guys are annoying me. I'm gonna magic missile 81. Pew.
Pew indeed. He's not looking like a happy camper. 29 is seeing magic missiles and going, well, we need a line of sight here. And now he has it. Does that hit you, Tonatium?
That hits.
Ouch.
It really sucks that I can't catch them for you. They have to be targeting me.
Speaking of targeting you, our warg
is doing a point scoring out of that.
It keeps nipping at your feet. It's going yak, yak, yak from the ledge below, and you're like, nope, nope, nope. It would be more dramatic if it was animated.
5 foot back. And I'm going to key arrow at 29.
Okay. Let's see how badly this goes for him.
Going too badly.
Or her. You can't really tell based on the look of that goblin.
Dex. 20 plus 5.
And the answer is it doesn't hit.
Yep.
Well, 81 needs to come down here to get a clean shot, too.
No!
So,
That does not confirm.
it does not confirm. 4 damage at Donatello.
Ow!
Someone's more threatening at this point.
Come on! I can hear I heard an echo, but it was like a dramatic echo.
Echoing. Your come on echoes throughout the caverns.
No, I'll shoot at 81. Pew! Ready!
29 decides to delay. The warg climbs up. And at this point, it has no excuse for rolling 2s and 3s anymore.
Still doesn't hit me.
Now, 29. Scrambles over here. And reloads. Darbu.
Step back and arcane strike through my knife at him.
That will hit.
4 plus 3 plus 1 plus 1.
That embeds itself in its shoulder. Tonatium.
I'll fire magic missiles at the warg.
What is it with all these 9s?
With no 6s to go with. Obviously, we're Germans and denying this entire fight.
Ha 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 ha. I fucking rolled a 2.
I just imagine you going ha ha ha, immediately rolling a crit.
That's exactly what I was imagining when I was doing it too. Through.
Arcane strike. Slashy.
That one does not hit.
Yeah. Sadly, I can't throw it because we're at close range, and so I don't get my close range bonus.
Tonatium.
Blasting the warg! Yeah, look, another 9.
Warg down. Now, here's the moment of truth. Tonatium.
Yes?
Make a perception check.
Will Twig also help?
It won't be relevant because Twig asks after you.
I cannot make that.
Okay. Does 15 hit your flat-footed AC?
God damn it, it just beats my barrier thing by 1. No, wait, but it was just simply 10 and with a plus 2.
6 damage as the goblin that has snuck up behind you fires a bolt into your back.
Ow! Yeah, look, like I said, you rolled super low.
Yeah. Turbo.
Arcane strike with their star knife at him. I didn't miss crit fail. Tempting I am out of star knives.
Tonatium.
Son of a bitch. Blasting 29 and the ward is down.
Another 9. Another frickin' 9.
We both rolled 9s in a row.
Reloading. Firing. Trying to fire at Tonatium, which means that Tonatium gets a +2 to AC against this because he's behind Turbo.
Wish I had a kazoo now. Wish I had a slide whistle.
The string on his crossbow breaks. Can't use that weapon until he repairs it. Turbo.
While I may be out of star knives, I have throwing axes. Arcane strike throwing axe. It's horrible. I have to expect you to grab the bolt from my back and throw it at him.
It doesn't hit.
Yeah, I don't have my charisma, but my charisma bonus to my anything else besides my star knives.
Tonatium.
Kill it! Kill it! Kill it! Blasting magic missile! 9!
Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Ow! I'm gonna go pick up my star knives. There's one there, there's one in him, and there's one all the way over here.
Oh, you go over there. Nothing happens.
Ow! What you bitchin'? I have a bolt in my back! Yeah? And? There's quite a bit of blood. You have a feeling that if Tonatium wasn't so pissed about this, he might not be looking so good. One who cures light wounds. Thank you. Just cause. Wait, was the second one for you or me? There's another one for you. Yeah, thank you. Ow. And then I'm going to use 2 uses on myself because I am also pretty hurt. For a 10 and a 12. Which is a full heal for me. What is all that?
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Explicitly worrying about it.
Don't worry about it. It's nothing. See, I can do it again. Hey.
That's even better.
Worry about that one.
Search what Goblin Rider.
So you're going to be searching which one? I'm sorry?
Goblin Rider.
Our Goblin Rider. Yes, our Goblin Rider has things. Actually, our Goblin Rider doesn't really have much because he drank everything.
That's odd.
He's got his long sword, his short sword, his leather armor, and his 3 empty bottles.
Hey, let's just take those 3 empty bottles. Yeah, I'll give the empty bottles to Tom Dam. Here, use these later. Yeah. Now I will check Goblin Sneak 81.
Now he is that one. So he's going to have 3 bolts left, a short sword, a crossbow, leather armor, 10 gold, and 3 silver.
I will give Tonatium 5 of the gold and the bolts. 5 gold and the bolts. Okay. I'm gonna cut off their ears.
That's a good thing to remember to do before Turvu burns them all.
I physically cannot burn anything right now. I don't even have spark. I have flare.
Good. Let's see. So that's like what, 3 more? So 6.
Yep. Are you gonna do the other sneak, Durbin?
Yeah, what the other sneak has.
So the other sneak fired his last bolt into Tonatium's back. So he's out of bolts.
Snap.
His crossbow's broken. From that attack he should not have been allowed to make because I lost count. Got his leather armor, his tiny short sword. 6 gold, 6 silver.
I will give Tonatium 3 of each.
Okay.
Okay, 3 gold, 3 silver. Where are you? Inventory. I keep losing track of you.
Ah. And the warg has a goblin-sized harness. And I am sorry for all the squeaking I'm doing. I need to turn on my fan. It's getting warm in here.
So I have a question, Turbin.
Mm-hmm.
How are we gonna get out of here when this is all over?
Walk through the fire.
Break for the song from Buffy.
That was the first thing I thought of too.
And you're going into the fire.
I can just imagine Zelda's now. I touch the fire and it freezes me. I look into it and it's black.
And as you say that, Trevor will start singing that.
How should I feel? My skin should crack and peel.
I failed horribly.
I want the fire back.
Yeah, I'm just imagining Zelda singing like that opening verse.
Yeah, but I just did that singing check for Trevor to do that. Sadly, you get me look at things you can't fail. You can't crit fail a skill check. So, if you just sing it kind of badly.
And by kind of badly, I mean really badly.
Oh, 9 isn't that bad.
Well,
how low does this go?
Apparently,
you can see it going quite a way down. You can see it splitting off at a few points.
75.
Splits off here.
Like,
Splits off here, here. Down here it continues, and there's this sort of stairway over here.
Trevor's going to stealth.
Guess I'll stealth as well.
Gonna mandate me making more rolls here, huh?
Yep. Almost.
So I will run through the fire.
'Cause where else can I turn? I'll run through the fire and it will burn.
Twig is also gonna hide.
Yep, Twig is very well hidden on this loud, obnoxious wizard. You just got no idea he's there. So you can see there that there's this ledge. It's about a 20-foot tall ledge up here.
Pretty tall ledge.
Yep.
Oh, okay, so okay. That's how it is. I just thought each of them were like 5 feet deep.
No. This is a slope, and those markings are telling you how far down that is. So up here, the wall's 20 feet high. Down here, the wall's 25 feet high. And it's sloping gently downwards.
Also, logically, because this would be on the same plane as the rest of this, and this is all that, so that would be...
Exactly. Exactly. Mal can read a contour map.
I cannot.
I
I find that kind of hilarious considering you live in one of the most contoury places in the country.
I will cast Solid Note up there.
Right?
And then throw a rope onto it.
Okay. There's a rope that leads up.
And I will climb it.
Okay. So, it's just a regular rope, right?
Yes.
So, as you get to the top of the rope, I need to look up hardness of a rope. A rope has 2 hit points and no hardness.
Oh no, not again.
So one of them will hit the rope, and the other one's going to critically fail his attack against the rope. So
How did you mess up any kind of rope?
So you're not. So here's what's going to happen. You're going to hear a thunk, and a sword is going to fall to the ground here, right before the rope gets cut off at your note. And Turvu, you are falling.
Can I make a reflex save to grab my note?
Go ahead, attempt it.
My reflex save a 6.
So you're now up there, and you can see the goblin who bounced back and knocked himself unconscious with his own sword, and the one who just cut your rope and has you hanging here. One-handed from the roof. So, you know what time it is. Apparently, this sneak was not... so yeah, Tonatium, you're not actually aware of the sneak. You just know the sword fell down, like, here. Roundabouts. And then the rope and Turvu's hanging onto it. So Tonatium does not have line of sight on either of these two.
Yeah, do it. I am going to take my crossbow and start loading it.
Okay. Turvu, you are hanging by one hand from this solid note at the cliff top. A goblin with a long sword is standing over you. The floor dangles 23 feet below.
Maybe not arcane strike there, stomach now.
Okay. That does not hit.
Sad.
So you throw a star knife up in the air and it just hits the ceiling and falls to the floor.
What kind of action would it be to... You have to move action now, climb the rest of the way up, right?
Yes, and it will provoke an attack of opportunity.
And it's acrobatics to try to avoid it?
Yes.
I will try to avoid it.
Okay. Let's see if you can flip up into the air.
No.
I need you to make a reflex save to not fall.
Ah, again.
You may make a reflex save to absorb some of the damage from the fall. So you manage to land... You manage to kind of do a superhero landing, and you take 3 non-lethal damage.
Ouch. My knee. Superhero landings are really bad on your knee.
Knee. No, knee. Well, this sneak is gonna start barking in what's clearly a prepared signal as he drops the sword, not down to you, but by his feet, picks up a crossbow, aims it down at Turvu, and fires.
Oh, gotcha.
You are holding this bolt. It's almost as though they aren't psychic, and every new set has to learn that you can do this. Donatium.
Can I see one now?
Now you can see 73, yes.
Yep. Light crossbow. Get him!
That will hit.
Hooray!
Even with the partial cover from the ledge, that will hit. So like you can't really get a good shot on him because of this ledge, but you see the tip of his ear and you fire like a marksman and give him a bolt earring. It's very impressive. Turvu.
I'll take a couple steps back. And key arrow throw.
Right. That will hit.
Cool. And he takes damage equal to my punch, which is a 1d4, right?
Yep. He now has 2 bolt earrings. She. I'm gonna high-low this. He now has 2 bolt earrings. He rears back at Turvu, reloading and firing.
Catch.
Donatium.
I will.
Now the GM needs to remember you can do that.
I load my crossbow as my light crossbow as a move action and fire once again at 73.
No dice. Sorry.
Why is magic missile at this point?
Turvu.
Yeah. Goes Donatium.
I want to arcane strike, throw a throwing axe at him. That's 5, right? That's +3.
He catches it. And then fumbles and drops it on the ground because he's not trained in catching it. He's just like, oh, if you can do it, I can do it too.
But I can do better.
He looks at you, mutters something in Goblin, which neither of you speak, wheels the bow and arrow over towards Donatium, reloads, rolls a 5, and it's Donatium.
Reload and shoot.
Oh my god.
It's a
Why don't you
crossbow.
magic missile hit?
It's a
Yeah,
crossbow roll. It's a crossbow war. Turvu.
I need to start not spamming it.
But it's your best bet.
I know.
Turvu.
You don't have much to do. Let's throw another. Let's do another key arrow at him.
That hits. Hey. Guess what? He's got 9 hit points left.
A really good idea to magic missile him, you know, that constant 9-0.
It sounds like a good idea to keep you guys waiting because I need to go to the restroom after this magic missile stuff.
It's not you. Well, now it's you. You miss.
Pew pew! Now, if you excuse me, I'll be back in a few.
You know what the best thing about this is?
What?
Goblin sneaks unconscious for 5 rounds.
Oh, he gets back up.
I love these little guys so much. Like, I know there's not super exciting, but just this idea of these little ugly little goblin toads shooting their arrows at you, trying to be ambush you.
The best part is he was unconscious. He doesn't know I can catch her. He's gonna target me for the first target he sees.
That's great. That's great. Oh gosh. Oh.
I really need to get sharding on one of my weapons. Because having a limited amount of things I can do is annoying.
Yeah, you need to get yourself some returning star knives.
No, I need to get sharding. Sharding is a thing you place on a melee weapon or a throwing weapon that when you try to throw it, it throws a copy that doesn't actually throw the weapon in your hand, but it works as if it's the weapon in your hand.
Unlike returning where you throw it and then it comes back.
Yeah. So you can actually like full round attack with a sharding weapon.
That's a nice thing.
It also lets you throw like swords and shit because you can put it on a melee weapon.
I also love how it's like pitch dark down here, but you guys have no problem with seeing. You got your vision thing all worked out.
Yeah. I can see in the dark.
I also love how long this tunnel is.
Yeah, it's no, just looking down it. How far does this go?
Quite a bit further than you think.
Further than negative 75 feet down? How the hell he fucking knocked himself out attacking a rope?
No. I mean, they have AC5. You need to make an attack roll. It's mostly just there for you to roll a 1, though, and embarrass yourself.
Yeah. Solid Note also can be attacked. It has an AC2, but it is a different AC. Sadly, they attacked that and not the note. Because if they both had attacked the note, I'm pretty sure they would have missed. They rolled a 12 to hit, right? For the rope?
Yeah.
Yeah, he would have missed. If they attacked the note. AC is 10 plus my charisma, which is 3.
Well.
Actually has a really low CMD. So it's technically better to ball rush it than it is to attack it.
Maybe. Getting into an argument with one of my friends about painkillers.
Painkillers?
Well, she wants her doctor to prescribe her painkillers for epilation because epilation hurts like hell. And they won't because of the whole opioid epidemic thing. And she's upset about that, and I'm like, well, you know, it's not that the company's getting sued for providing an addictive drug, it's that the company's getting sued for providing a rebate and kickback system accompanying that drug to encourage doctors to prescribe an extremely addictive substance when they don't need to. Like when they gave me 3 months of coding for the time I broke my pinky. Which was before the whole opioid epidemic seriousness. That 3 month vial of coding lasted me for like 2.5 years. I needed like 1 pill for the 3 months, and I'm like, I'm just gonna keep this in my shed for when I, injure myself so I don't have to go buy more. But like when I was in my car accident this last year, right, and I tore like all the skin off of my right breast, No fucking
Yeah.
no opioids. Have Tylenol. It's like that's a situation they should have prescribed opioids for. It's like they're jumping back and forth and it's annoying, but you shouldn't be fucking pissed off that the company had to pay out their lawsuit because they're not getting sued for making an addictive drug and doctors prescribing it. They're being sued for the predatory, pushy rebate structure they built, which they have a ethical responsibility not to do. But yeah, Tonatium, it's your turn. As far as you're aware, the goblin is dead.
Yay! I'm gonna try to climb down.
You don't have to climb. This is a smooth.
Oh, it's all smooth?
It's just another climb.
Yeah, whatever.
This part is smooth.
Smooth.
Well, anyway, I'm gonna start cutting off the ears.
Okay. I'm gonna put a little smooth arrow. Dervu.
I'll pick up my rope and throw it back up on around the note.
He will come to consciousness. Stand up. See the rope.
Please knock yourself out again.
Your rope has been cut again, Dervu.
Quit shortening the rope to like an inch.
Donatium. Dervu threw the rope up. The rope fell down again.
Yeah, it's stuck on there this time. I say not paying attention while cutting the ears.
Dervu.
I'm gonna point out the fact that there's a goblin sneak up there.
Goblin Sneak is gonna shout in Goblin something you don't understand and shoot at Tonatium. Because Tonatium's cutting the ears off of her husband.
Oof.
Does that hit Tonatium?
It hits.
Oh, Tonatium's flat-footed.
Is he fine until I notify them?
He hasn't acted yet. 6 damage? Including the sneak attack.
Why you? Is he in 30 feet range?
Yes.
Okay. Magic missile.
She is in 30-foot range. And she is hit by that and howling in pain. Dervu.
I'm gonna demoralize her.
Oh no. She's demoralized.
She takes a -2 to her attack roll, and like a lot of other things.
She's gonna turn and, being intimidated and frightened, shoot at Dervu.
I'll get it.
Tonatium.
Pew pew.
There we go.
I like the thought of me insulting her. She immediately tried to fire at me in fear, and I just catch it.
Before she gets the side of her head blown off by Tonatium's magic.
Yep. Okay, let's try this a third time. Let's throw that rope back onto the note.
Okay. And the third sneak note. Ta-da, you're up.
Hey, how many use that goblin while you're at it?
Wait, and you just come up here and, I'll hand them to you when we get up here.
Yeah, whatever.
And I'll hand them the 2 goblin ears I cut off with one of my star knives.
Yay. Goblin ears. This racism is abhorrent. It's casual genocide.
And then I will pick back up my rope, and then the note shall disappear.
By note.
I'd love the note. It lasts concentration. Plus 1 round.
So this chamber opens up to the side of the cavern, and there's 2 moldy pallets lying up against the walls. And that's all there is. And the door, of course, to the south.
Open the door.
Hey, this is familiar.
Yes, this is the part where I solid snaked Drekthar.
Yeah.
Kirby will start stealthing.
Okay. That passage has collapsed long ago.
There's really nothing here. Well, time to go back. I will just, I'll hook the rope in place with a dagger.
Okay.
And then climb my butt down.
I'll climb down as well.
And then I'll pull the rope down. We are merry way this way. It's nice, smooth down.
Yep, nice, smooth. Well, it's not completely smooth, it's natural terrain, but, you know, as it slope downwards deeper and deeper under Cauldron. And as you walk down, getting to there, actually, 18 does not beat the perception check of the one who was watching out for you. So guess what's coming at you, Turvu?
An arrow I can't catch.
Ah!
3 arrows I can't catch.
Does any of them hit?
All of them hit. I don't have a flat-footed AC of 23.
This is not good.
Yeah, I'm at full health.
Okay, they rolled kind of shit.
Yeah, I'm fine.
So-
So I'm down to 21 health.
So, up there on that ledge, which is a good 30 feet up, these 3 fire, pincushioning Turbo.
Nice, yeah. Done that. 20 initiative.
Nice. Donatium.
Let's see, how far are they? How far? Yep.
Pretty sure you can hit them. It's like magic missiles range like 100 feet.
Oh yeah, I forgot. What was I thinking was 30 feet?
A lot of things. But not magic missile.
Well, whatever. 22 is going down. Damn. 6 foot under the ground.
A 9.
A 9. Well, 117 gets to make another attack at you that you don't get a chance to grab.
I'm not aware of it yet.
You're still flat-footed until your next initiative.
So that counts as me not being aware of the attack?
Yeah.
Alright then.
For 10, including sneak attack. Henceforth, you are aware and able to catch arrows.
Yay! And I'll use my cure life wounds to heal myself.
Are you going to move from that position?
I can't hit them. They're 30 feet up.
Okay, so you're not going to move from there.
Move closer, actually.
Okay. Catch, miss. Tonatium.
Catch, yes.
Tonatium.
Shoot at 22. Pew pew. Pew pew.
So 117, looking at Turvu, not being able to see Tonatium yet, fires.
Catch.
Turvu.
I will use my last level 1 spell slot to key arrow 117.
Ouchie ouch.
I need to improve unarmed strength really badly.
And there's a miss. Your ruckus is attracting attention. As they run around the corner.
Oh, hi.
Why are there so many?
Because it's goblins.
There's a lot of
Power in
goblins.
numbers.
So 34 is actually able to get up to you and attack you with a Morning Star. Not that it hits.
Crystal.
It is not.
So you need a +2 to hit.
Yep.
Tugday was rounded.
Come on, dang. Thank you. 20, 25, 30. And it starts chanting a spell in Goblin. Tonatium.
Hell no. Magic missile at the adept. 1 missile for the rat and 2 missiles for the adept.
Oh, you low rolled the rat.
Ouch. Well, Sneak 117 still can't see Tonatium. So, you shall attack.
And yes.
Through.
Arcane Strike 99.
That does not hit.
Sadly.
86 fires. Caught.
I will deflect. Instead of catching.
Okay. And now it's time for all of our skirmishers, who now get the +3 to their attack. I guess we know where. I assume you know where this is all going. And I can just mass roll them.
3 hit.
3 hit. Each. For a total of 18.
Ouch. I think I healed myself earlier.
The adept, looking at Tonatium, is going to take a step over into the open, shake the skull, point at Tonatium, scream out in Goblin, and fire. Does 23 touch Tonatium?
Yes.
For 15 fire damage.
10. Ow!
Rat does nothing. Donatium.
We gotta You gotta fall back. Terrible. I say as I repeat the missiles that Rat Familiar and Goblin Adept.
Alrighty.
Why do you keep protecting the familiar? Just fuck out the one that's firing laser beams at you.
And yeah, I'm gonna start moving back.
Sneak. Good old blessed sneak.
It's the deflect that, okay?
Dervu.
5-foot shift. And I am really doing a piss poor job on my HP, so I'm gonna carefully win myself.
And our other sneak. Our other blessed sneak.
I cannot deflect that actually, because I deflected 1.
4 damage.
There's 4.
Now you have made, it turns out, a wise decision. Only 4 of them can get in attacks against you. Because only 4 of them can fit around you at this point.
And none of them hit.
And with
Lovely.
the adept is cursing how much closer it needs to be to get to you. Is this going to walk on up to here and be shouting and waving his staff at Tonatium? Because you killed his familiar, you jerk. Tonatium.
Well, he may need to run, get that close, much closer to get at me, but I do not need that such tactics. Magic missiles, the adept.
Sneak time. No longer blessed.
Yay.
Turvu.
Another 5-foot shift and another cured light wounds.
Another snick.
Another miss.
And then hit, hit, hit. Actually, hit. Da, because there's not stupid.
I wish they were.
So do I.
Oh, where are they?
At least we have the sneak, so they're not getting sneak attacks on me, because that would be painful.
That would be painful. So, need to change all these 3s into 2s. Because they don't have the blessing anymore, because you killed the blessing.
Yay. Only 2 hit.
For 5 damage.
Cool.
Yeah. Tonatium.
Magic missile, the skirmisher, 99.
Yay.
Hoping that it gives Turbo an opening.
That out of the way.
Turvu.
Take a 5-foot shift in this direction. Hopefully finally get on the fucking line of sight 117. And then I'm going to Arcane Strike 209. Failing, but not crit failing. Lovely.
Not out of sight of 86.
Good thing you can't hit. Is that a crit fail?
That was a crit fail.
Yeah. Please tell me if his bow breaks or something. Oh, poof. He skewered his friend.
Yeah. Gets an automatic critical hit on the enemy, on the ally closest to the target. Well, skirmishers step up. being significantly reduced in number,
And 2 of them hit.
but apparently greatly increased in rage. 7 damage.
Pew pew 42.
Pew pew. And 17 is indeed not able to see you. Turbo.
Good. Step back. Cure light wounds because I'm at 8 HP.
86 is still able to see you.
I'll
Whop.
catch that one.
Catch. 2 skirmishers approach.
Both miss.
Losing some confidence as their friends fall around them.
Going to acid splash 133.
That'll touch. That will not kill. Turvu.
Arcane Strength 133.
That will not hit. $86. Fires.
I will deflect.
And it's skirmish time. Planetium.
Acid splash 133. Does that touch?
Yes. $117 having repositioned. Fires.
That hits.
Do you deflect or take it?
I'll deflect.
Turbo.
Arcane Strike 134.
Hits. Yay! 86 fires.
That'll hit.
That will confirm.
Ow.
6 damage.
Good.
And the one down here that's been waiting patiently for you to kill them all will charge.
Oh no!
Long sword out.
Missing.
Alright. And the ward gets its attack.
Missing.
Donatium.
Damn it, I was hoping not having to use this, but... Gonna 5-foot shift and put up the barrier.
Sneak.
Miss.
Turvu.
If I shift back here, I went. I love being the HP show.
That actually puts you out of range of 117.
Yeah.
Well, Gobbo makes up. Foot shift. And attacks. Does not confirm. For 8 damage. And the warg attacks. Does it hit?
Yes, that does.
You have the barrier.
Oh, no, it doesn't.
Oh,
Or
then
no, yes, it does. It's plus 2, right? Because it's plus 2, it still hits.
It's +2.
Yeah, it still hits.
does that beat your CMD?
Yes, it does.
Okay, so the warg bites your feet out, and this time yanks you down to the ground. 7 damage.
I'm at 4 hit points.
Donatium. Turvu's on the ground. If Turvu tries to stand, it's going to provoke all these attacks. Everything's kind of bad, actually. This silent wolf goblin rider rears up on Wargback, hissing, wicked curved blade in the air.
Damn it. Okay, magic missile, the warg. Tell the TM, go attack the goblin rider to distract him.
You mean Twig, right?
Yeah, Twig.
Okay. Twig is now on Wargback. There's no way this will end badly.
Is this kind of a 5-foot shift or a...
Twig is there, can make full attack. Sure.
Okay.
You threw Twig at the goblin.
Oh, come on!
That's really badly. Please don't hit
Oh
me.
shit.
43.
That was his first claw.
Provoke an attack opportunity from all adjacent opponents.
So Warg first.
Ouch.
That's 8 damage to Twig.
No.
And does that beat Twig's combat maneuver defense?
Where's it see? Yeah.
So Twig will be prone, but this other attack happens simultaneously.
That does not hit.
Okay. So Twig is just prone and on the ground. And probably not feeling so good after being mauled by a warg. So 117 is going to take that 5-foot shift to be in range, which puts him out in the open, and fire at the standing target, Tonatium.
Ouch.
Turvu.
Remember, Twig just wasted their attack opportunity, or at least they
Wasted their attacks.
That's true, Twig just used all their attacks of opportunity.
I will stand up and after I win myself in their face because they can't do anything about it.
Twig bought you time to heal. And 86 fires at Turvu.
Amazing.
So this silent wolf goblin will drink a cloudy, foul-smelling dark green potion and attack.
Ouch.
For 4 damage, min damage. The question is, does the warg do what it wants to do? Because it's a warg, it's a wild beast, it has kitten in its mouth.
Oh no.
But Twig is not helpless. So no coup de grace, but warg bites Twig.
No.
It comes down to biting Twig heroically, kitten arms and kitten legs at either end of the jaw, holding the jaw open. Meow. is not down. It's hurt, but it is not down. Twig.
Twig will attempt to flip back up.
Roll closer to you.
Or could he? Or would it still require acrobatics?
Twig can meow. Actually, Twig can't because Twig's tiny.
Twig can't combat roll.
No. Or Twig could, but she'd still be in attack and threat range from the warg.
Twig attempts to avoid the attack of opportunity.
Twig, why don't you just stay down?
That does not hit.
Ta-ta-ta! Twig! You heroic thing, you! And Turvu is up, enemy of all goblin sneaks. Turvu.
Arcane Strength Reward.
That will hit. Oh god. The warg is not down. You had one job. You had one job. No, it's even worse than that.
Is it 2?
No. It's disabled.
Oh. At least it can't do any strength reactions. Possibly maiming itself.
Silent Wolf Goblin drinks the sweet-smelling, translucent orange potion and attacks again.
No. Why are they all targeting me?
Because you're the one there. The warg, in its rage, goes after the kitten, making, or attempting at least, its fortitude save. Which makes the Silent Wolf Goblin make a reflex save. Not prone. Donatium.
Blasting him, the rider now.
The rider is like the other one, frothing at the mouth. Its muscles are bulging and starting to twitch. And that's a bit of damage. That is a bit of damage. Twig.
Twig will return to Donatium.
Twig's done with that. Well,
Twig was the hero of the day.
archer guy.
Catch.
Turbo.
I should not catch all deflect instead. And I will Arcane Strike at 16.
That hits.
For max damage.
Our other archer, who's here to be an annoyance. The goblin drinks its final potion. And then rails in to Turvu. Donatium.
Blasting him, blasting him, blasting to oblivion.
This guy is just tanking those bolts.
This isn't good, my wand's almost fried.
I will deflect.
Turvu.
Arcane Strike. Damn it. That will not hit.
Ah.
That will hit.
He's got his sword in both hands and is just swinging and slashing and hacking.
Ouch.
Donatium.
Sorry, I gotta switch to acid splash.
Gotta switch that ass.
Id. That ass id. That hits. That does indeed hit. And once more, we have our archers being a nuisance.
Stop it. Arcane strike again.
That hits. You had one job, and you failed.
I don't do much damage, okay?
So 86 is actually out of arrows now.
Good. Come down here, fucking coward.
The goblin rears back and swings as hard as it can. Yeah. Oh, I forgot it had that feat. It doesn't swing as hard as it can. It draws a short sword and swings with a long sword and then a short sword.
Oh, we're missing.
Maybe it should have stuck to its two-handed rage.
Probably should have.
Donatium.
Just so we can get rid of one more magic missile.
I love that you spent 11 points of magic missile to kill the thing with 1 hit point remaining.
Oh my god.
117 is out.
I'm hit!
Yeah. It can charge! It can charge!
Please don't hit me.
It's charging with its short sword drawn.
Reminder that I do not have my barrier up anymore.
It missed. It's a
Terrible.
good thing. It's a miss. I'm gonna take a 5-foot shift back and hit myself real quick right there.
Goblin Sneak 86 comes running around the corner, sword drawn.
No more goblins!
Put me on the bed.
At this point, I don't care. This thing's a fry. I'm just shitty magic missiles at the stupid goblin 117.
Turvu.
Now it's my turn to charge. With an arcane strike. And I miss.
You miss. And he or she swings back with the short sword. In a dramatic moment of complete and utter failure. Falling smack down on the ground and getting dirt in her eyes. Donatium.
Acid splash. Does that touch?
No, only because they're prone. And this is from range. Turvu.
Arcane strike.
That hits only because they're prone and blind.
Yay, proneness.
Oh. Oof. Well, our sneak is going to try and hop to the feet. And then swing.
So we get a 21 swing when blind.
Yes, which means that we need the... And hits.
Ouch.
Deals less damage than I thought it would.
Good.
For 4 damage. Tonatium.
Acid Splash. Does it touch now, Kit?
Barely not. Turvu.
Like 5-foot shift back and with Thermite Star Knife with an Arcane Strike.
That hits. What is it with you reducing enemies to 1 hit point?
Because I deal a max of 8 damage or 9 if I'm range with throwing.
Yeah, 5-foot step forward.
Missing.
Tonatium.
Flash.
That hits.
Oh, you didn't do it, no.
And you disable it.
Arcane Strike.
Hurricane Strike.
Missing. Because it doesn't increase my attack roll.
Fortitude save. Attack. It's just blindly railing, howling in pain and torment as it rips its own wounds open.
Slash, slash, slash.
Yeah, it's dead.
Da 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 da.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna pick my Star Knife up from over here. And then let's do some healing of our Quilly.
Could you do tricks first?
Here, here's a heal for Twiggy.
Alright, he's good. As good as it can be, anyway.
I think I'm gonna use 2 uses on me. So I heal 19, 32. Were you injured?
I am terribly injured.
1 or 2 uses.
2 uses.
Alright.
Alright. That almost does it. So I think I'm good for now.
I'm really glad we made this blind of killer move.
I know. Oh well, goblin ear time. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. I'm not including the one at the top of the clip. Someone's gonna have to get that for me.
Well, what do?
Search bodies.
Okay. So the sneaks are all out of arrows. They dropped their crossbows on the floor. So in total, here is for those sneaks 15 gold and 18 silver. I assume you're not interested in their crummy long swords and such. The skirmishers, in total, have 20 gold and 21 silver.
35 gold and...
Once again, your your silent wolf goblin drank everything of interest on him. You don't know what all those potions are. But there are 3 empty glass bottles.
Oh, and there's the Tonatium as well as there's 35 gold, and that can't be split evenly. I'll give you the bigger half. So half of 35 is... I have no idea.
That's 34 divided by 2.
34 divided by 2 is...
17.
So, okay, 18.
Yep.
Get 18, yep.
So from here, this tunnel seems to kind of split in multiple directions. You have this side passage over this way that somehow you can see into, which you shouldn't be able to. You have this main passage that goes down. There's this stairway carved in you can see that goes on up. There's the ledge up here where you can faintly see a hall behind. This whole walkway over here that you don't know about where it goes, but you know it goes off. There's lots of options.
Well, the goblins came from the right, so that might be the safest to search.
Alright.
Now you can see another stairway leading up, and another ledge over here,
And this lizard.
and a glowing lizard.
Well, it's nature.
That there is a shocker lizard. It naturally acquires electricity and then zaps people.
That is not very fun.
Yeah, best to leave it alone.
Just in case, I'm gonna smell this so I can know this.
We should probably do that.
You're not aware of the rope bridge. You can't actually see that far through that hallway.
Yep.
But you can see that over here, this tunnel ends at a ledge with a rope ladder.
I shall climb up said ladder.
Right. You may make a perception check now that you're up here. Okay. So you can hear a couple of voices bickering in the distance. You can't make out the words, but it sounds like they're arguing in common. And they do not sound like goblins.
Walk a bit closer to the door.
Now we'll start climbing up.
It doesn't sound like it's right on the other side of the door. It sounds like it's a little ways away.
I will peek to open the door.
Okay. Before we do real quick, I just need to double check this entry. Yeah. This door opens into a hallway, and there's actually a door on the far side. So now you can see that this hallway proceeds in two directions. In one direction, there's a stairway that leads down. The other leads into this large, empty-looking room. It looks like the corners of this room have collapsed into rubble. Of note, this room is empty and bereft of the graffiti that has been everywhere down here.
I will peek into this door now.
This room, a small 15-foot square room, is full of wooden crates and casks. Each one very clearly bears the symbol of a small black bird cage.
I'm gonna motion Tartan forward.
What's up?
And here you can hear the words of the of the arguers a little more clearly. You can hear one of them saying, I don't trust the vampire. I know that I just don't trust him. In a woman's voice, he came recommended by the Blue Duke. You trust the Blue Duke, I suppose. Then we can trust the vampire.
I'm trying to think of myself. Have I ever heard the words Blue Duke before? I will knowledge local.
You have not.
Well, it seems to be they're talking about a duke. It might be a noble.
You're fairly certain that it is not.
Then who could it be? Anyway, what's in here?
A bunch of crates and barrels, each with the marking of a black bird cage on the side. I'm sorry?
Black bird cage.
Black bird cage.
Perhaps knowledge history to figure out the meaning of the symbol?
This is a symbol that you are actually very certain that you have never seen. Like you know how you'd see, like, most groups nowadays would have some symbol that's derived from a fascist or a communist or some other historical heritage?
Mm-hmm.
You would expect this symbol, even if it were a new symbol, to be crafted in the memory of some sort of historical heritage that you might be able to trace with a sort of understanding. This is not, which suggests either someone who doesn't share the same historical heritage that you do, or someone who's completely ignorant of history designed that symbol.
I'm going to check my see if there's any magical things in this area.
You detect no magic.
Do you think it might be related to something?
I don't open one of the crates.
Wait, don't.
It's full of food. Like
Remember what happened last time?
potatoes, dry meat, wheat, ale. And this isn't moldy meat. Or messy food. It's preserved, but it's quality.
Suspicious.
In fact, this room contains enough food to feed a group of 3 people for at least a month.
I wonder how heavy this would be.
Probably pretty good heavy.
Where is it? I know I had it somewhere. Yeah,
There are 90 rations of food in this room.
How heavy do you think the crates would be with the food in it?
Up to I have the roll set up. About 450 pounds of food and drink.
I'm gonna take out my wand of floating disc.
We're gonna steal the food.
Stay here. It'll help us off for a while. I say, but cheekily.
As I managed to, since my disc can carry up to 500 pounds worth of a load.
So you want to do this now?
Maybe.
I think we can wait a bit.
No fun. Okay, fine. No fun. No fun, Toru. Which is weird because you're a jester.
I'm a jester. I'm a juggler.
You're an entertainer.
So the voices are definitely coming from behind, from down this way. Mumble, 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 mumble.
Peek around the corner.
There's a door.
In the door.
Gonna peek in the door. Make your stealth check.
Horrible.
Okay. Let's see what their perceptions are.
Hopefully horrible.
Caliv. And Corlander.
Oh, fucking Corlander.
So you crack open the door, and as you do, you hear them say, you hear the voice of this man say, "Well, I don't know who's hired us, but Shoden should be bringing in the arm. Hello." And at this moment, I think it's initiative.
Run!
Corlander.
Let's see. Corlander. Caliv. What have we got? And there's a 15 and an 18. Dervu. These two are sitting. You can see them. This person is an older gentleman with long white hair. He's wearing black robes that unfold. They seem to be made out of fine velvet. He has a necklace. And he has kind of these shimmering blue tattoos across his face. This woman over here, she is wearing black armor studded with spikes and has two little horns growing out of her head. And a halberd is leaning on the wall behind her. There you go.
Jerry's gonna look at the two of them and say, I think we can solve this non-violently, please.
Go ahead and make a diplomacy check. Did I really not prep that? I didn't prep that. Okay. Corlander says, "Well, possibly. I do abhor violence. Let's see if you can pass the test." Hunjivel Gastolnamaya. He leans back in his chair and starts waving his hands above his head. And a circle of glowing red begins to form directly in front of you, Turvu. Caliv stands up and equips her halberd.
That does not sound good. Based on those chants, can I figure out what they're doing?
You can make the spellcraft check, yeah. That there's a summon monster spell.
Uh-oh. God damn, I need you to tell everyone that they're about to summon something.
What are you calling your cat?
I mean, Twig. I whispered to Twig.
Dervu.
step back.
So he finishes his full round spellcasting action, and the red circle becomes a sort of portal on the ground, and a thick, muddy hand of dripping flesh comes out as it crawls up. Da-da-da-da. And Corlander says, "Oh, now, Caliv, hold. Let's see how they do." This thing sludges towards you and swings at you with its two muddy, dripping claws as you realize that that mud is its flesh. It's clumsy.
It is very clumsy.
As Caliv goes, "I think not, Corlander, you fool. I'll not let your hellspawn steal my glory," as she steps forward and stabs at thee with her halberd.
Huh. Looks like they're divided.
So she's stabbing me.
Yes.
Ouch.
14 damage.
Gee-bus.
Thanateum.
Ah. I can't see what's going on in that corner, can I? Nope.
You can
No,
see a little bit of the muddy Lindor creature.
It's been summoned, so perhaps a knowledge. What knowledge would be? Let's go with the engineering.
Knowledge engineering?
I mean, dungeoneering.
Dungeoneering for a summoned creature.
Or okay, fine, Arcana.
It is not a magical creature. It has a
Okay,
creature that has been
no.
summoned from the outer planes.
Planes.
That's a lemur. It's the weakest form of devil. It's the souls of the damned that are stripped away from the wills of their evilness. Tormented, dripping, tumorous things, half-formed and miserable. They are immune to fire. They have they cannot be mind controlled, for their minds are driven mad by their torment. They're immune to poison, resistant to acid, resistant to cold, and resistant to harm save from silver or the forces of good.
I should not. Well, not. But I seriously do not have anything better. Like. Wait, how close am I? You need a. I'll give you a war. Make a good use of it.
What are you doing? You cut out, so I didn't hear what you're doing.
He plays the word down.
Okay. Turvu.
I'll take 5 turns shift back and heal myself.
Provoking an attack of opportunity.
Oh, I agree with him.
It crit failed. And takes no damage because of its damage reduction. I should double check how long it lasts. You are that. Okay. He laughs. Caliv, they flee.
Fleeing, just getting a better fucking position. So
it's not like moaning, it's screaming. Its own screams drowned by its flesh. Yes, it provokes an attack of opportunity as it crosses the corner.
I would take that.
Okay. That hits. And You think you're not doing very much damage as you kind of dig into its flesh and kind of folds under, giving to your blow. It's like stabbing a bowl of pudding. Get out here, you coward! She shouts as she steps forward. Get out! And she will attempt to demoralize you.
No.
Donatium.
Well, the creature shouldn't last for very long, I believe.
It is summoned. It cannot be. It can be bound here by the strength of its caster.
You don't know how strong the caster is, though. Shit. Okay, so, I am going to blast that speck of red hair I see in the corner.
You strike, and the bolts curve around the corner, and she goes, "Ah, he's not alone." Dervu.
I'll arcane strike the limiter. Wow, I crit that. Again.
Oh. This is not good.
Plus 6. That'll be fine.
You pull your muscle.
Ouch.
Take 3 points of strength damage.
Ouch. Good thing I don't hit with strength.
He stands up and says, I guess it may be an issue. Andeverso non mai galas. Ymir strikes against Tervu. The first blow missing, the second blow smacking himself in the face. And not confirming. And not doing any damage because his own weapons are not good or silver. Kalev is irritated, to say the least. And she will say, "Get out of my way!" and stab the lemur. That's the damage after its reduction. Just so you know. Donatium.
Continue to magic missiles against Caleb?
You don't know her name.
No, I do not. But I do know one thing. This one's starting to look red hot.
Tarvu.
Arcane strike at the lumber. Boy, a crit there this time. Good.
That hits.
4 plus 3 plus 1.
For 1 damage.
Well, magic sadly isn't going through.
And this guy goes, Kalev, don't do that. Azendovas and Jinzemboinya. One of these days, this lemur is going to not critically fail.
Not this.
It sneezes.
It's a new disease.
Kalev's like, it's worthless, Corlander. And the one around the corner is shooting bolts of magic.
Pew pew! I'm hoping he goes down soon.
She's not looking. Well, you don't know how she looks. You can't see her around the corner. Turvu, you can tell that Kalev isn't looking so hot.
Sadly, I can't strike at her, I don't think, because there's a corner in front of us.
You can.
Well, I can strike at her.
Yeah.
I'm an arcane strike her.
Welp. That does not hit.
Sadly. I'm glad I backed into this corner because she has a reach weapon.
Corlander is just like, oh, have some patience. And then comes over here. Is no longer chanting. In the mirror. Gone. Its time is up. Kalev says finally and takes a 5-foot step and stabs at Tonatium. Shooting me? Shooting me?
Uh-oh. Ouchies!
For minimum damage.
If you take a step, actually, literally can't hurt either of us.
Tonatium.
Sadly, I cannot see the door. So I'm gonna 5-foot shift and critique. Magic missile.
The problem with reach weapons.
She goes down. Make a
Magic
perception check.
Perception check?
Both of you may make perception checks.
Can Twig make one too?
Yes.
Okay, that's 9. Twig is...
Mal, Turvu, and Twig see a wisp of green fly out of her mouth.
Nah, shit.
She was possessed.
Turvu.
Oh yeah, by the way, the wand started smoking.
I'm gonna shout her in the corner to visit to the guy. It's like, so can we do that non-violence thing now?
He takes a step over. That seems like... He comes over and he just walks to here. Do you take an attack of opportunity as he walks to here?
I will not.
He turns and looks down the thing and says, that might be possible. We'll have to wait for him to get here. You'll understand. And he holds out his hands, and a ray of rainbow light comes out down the hallway.
Oh shit.
Will saves!
Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? No, this does not count as a fear, death, insanity, or confusion, does it?
Nope. You know what this is.
I know. I'll figure you out what it is.
Oh, nice job. Mal, what's your HD?
4? No, 5.
You're stunned for 1 round.
Easy.
And as he finishes, he goes, well, that's not quite what I expected. Beep.
Oh no, Twig! I forgot about Twig!
Oh, yes, Twig needs to make that save too.
Shares the same HD as Donatium.
Staggered. Yeah. Well, let's see how Kalev does on this. She's stable. Get out of here. Donatium.
Uh-oh. You know what? Let me check this real quick because this is probably the best time to use it. Yep. I attempt to cast the ray of Whiplash.
Oh, I missed.
That does not touch.
Oh, fuck.
Turvu is stunned. Corlander says, "A show of wits and power. Very well, then." And as you do, I should probably note, Corlander is smeared out over space and shimmering blue. As he holds out his hand and shouts, "Acid Arrow!"
Arrow! Oh!
That's a quick time of magic.
Uh-oh.
His wits are not good.
He got overexcited. This is... Uh-oh. This is in the bad area. Okay, we're out of the really bad area. Nothing happens that you can tell. Don't at the
It
end.
just goes.
It just goes. He goes, huh? Don't at him.
Shoot. Shit. As I load up my light crossbow, Turbo is stunned. So this is going to be a bit difficult to shoot.
That does not hit. Turvu, you're no longer stunned.
3 week aside and goes, well, I guess non-violence is out of the picture, and Arcane Strike him. That's a crit threat.
That is a crit threat. That is not a confirmation.
Sad.
And I need you to roll a 1d100.
Huh.
That does hit, yes. You do strike him through his blur. Kalev, get to a different layer for me, please. You're in my way. Okay. And so he has that. And I should double check this one moment. Okay. Corlander looks at you and goes, very well then. And he kind of takes almost a kung fu-like stance as he says, our battle shall have to wait, wizard. And he kind of flicks his hand backwards in an almost kung fu-like strike as he goes, magic missile! And 3 little bolts of magic come flying out to hit Dervu for 11 damage. Donatium.
Shit. Come on, Donatium, help me. Come on, Donatium, you can do this, As I reload and attempt to shoot again.
Dervu.
Arcane Strike.
So as he brushes you away, he spins around, his kung fu-like movements continuing as he goes magic missile.
Oh, you're gonna flip this around my head now, aren't you?
He's not shooting from a wand, he's shooting from his fingertips. 10 more to Turvu. Donatium.
Ah, shit. Perhaps that'll work. Or perhaps I'm doomed us all if I try doing this.
What do you want to do?
Turbo, can you buy me some time?
Maybe.
Want a floating disc to carry up the heaviest looking crates of stuff I can find.
You will now have a disc with 450 crates of food that you can elevate 5 feet above the ground. Or excuse me, 1 foot above the ground. Turvu.
I'm gonna take a 5-foot shift back and cast Trigger Light Wounds on myself.
I didn't mean to kill you, but you've made your choice. Magic missile. 8 more damage. Donatium.
Okay. Where did I put the... Okay, I just need to make sure to write down that I've used it. I will delay my action until after turn... No, wait, I cannot do that. I come up with the floating disc with the food.
You can delay until after Turvu.
Oh.
Do you wish to? Because you were saying you wanted to.
Yeah, but I was thinking, like, speaking, if I spoke, does that mean the...
You can freely shout, get back.
Turbo, get back!
Turvu.
I will do a either get back whenever and also Trigger Light Wound myself.
Donatium.
Okay, I'll let you know that this is a very small disc, though. I just basically have to, like, stack up the boxes very carefully.
You got this pile of boxes, and I imagine you're pushing it down the hallway. I think I see where you're going with this stupid idea.
I will attempt to toss the crates at Corridor down the stairs.
Okay, I'm gonna have you make a spellcraft check to hold this thing together and get its momentum going. Because this is not how the spell's intended. It's collapsing around you as you do this.
I am well aware that this is a risk I'm taking.
450 pounds of food goes tumbling down the stairs at this guy. I'm just imagining the look on his face as you come around the corner and dump crates of food down the hall. Let's go ahead. You can do damage with this like he'd be doing with his... Do damage like a magic missile. Sure.
Okay. Like my wand specifically?
Yeah. And he's buried in food. He has to spend his full round digging his way out of the food, shoving it down. But he's not on stable footing. He's like waist deep in bruised pears and soaked in ale.
Soaked in ale?
I'll stand by that. Dervu.
Arcane Strike, throw my Star Knife at him. That's a great bet.
He catches it.
Catches it.
He catches it.
He has catch thingamajig?
Yeah.
Oh, that means he can throw it back.
So, Donatium.
No, he threw it back immediately.
He doesn't.
No, he doesn't have it?
He has a catch, not a catch and throw.
See, he has
I
it.
sparked the ale on him.
He catches fire.
Get behind me.
This wizard's on fire.
This wizard monk thingamajig.
So he doesn't have any good way to handle this. He's gonna take a 5-foot shift forward and roll on the ground to try to put the fire out as a full round action. But he still takes another 5 damage. Is really not looking good. And as he lays on the ground, fire out, he goes, "You have won this round." Clever use of magic indeed. Turvu.
I'm gonna step over there and arcane strike. That lingers your way.
That hits him because he's prone.
Oh, neat.
He's now unconscious and at -7 hit points because he was at 0 exactly. Donatium.
Is he expelling that same gas?
No.
I'm going to just take a moment and stare at the horror, the amazing horror that I have just committed.
You have ruined 90 days worth of food.
But I was amazed and scared at the same time.
He makes his
Like, I'm
fortitude
just
save.
like having that moment, like, just because you can, does that mean you should?
He is bleeding from the wounds that you put him on, Turvu. This lizard, which is not on fire, is upset with you. You hurt his daddy. Yeah. That's not the right lizard. That's the right lizard. It gums at your feet.
Charm animal.
So, it likes you now. It crawls up your leg.
Neat.
Can you speak with lizards?
I can speak with all animals.
It tells you that its name, that its dear great friend Chorlander that he wishes you could get along with gave him, is Death's Skull. Donatium.
I'm sorry, I'm just like, I'm just like that feeling.
Donatium's just like leaning against the wall, panting,
Kind of like staring in order of what he has done.
as Chorlander continues to bleed to death.
But like, both awe and horror.
Death's Skull is like on your other shoulder. Chorlander. Aww.
I will gently pat Death Skull's head, and then I will try a heal check to stabilizer. Or missing, failing horribly.
Is Donatium out of this combat for now?
More or less, until like another actual threat gets to us.
Corlander stabilizes with one more failure to death. Da, 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 da.
I was not expecting that to work as well as it did. But yeah, that truly was a battle of magic wits.
Well, so you've got this man in robes. Well, they're kind of charred robes now. Except for his outermost robe, which is surprisingly completely spotless.
Detect magic.
You detect, upon Corlander, the remnants of the 2 spells he cast upon himself, as well as 2 magical items. And upon her, you detect 3 magical items.
Spellcraft effects that he casted on himself first.
Okay. There are 2 of them. One was mage armor. The other was blur, giving him a 20% mischance. So you go. His magical items are that cloak that's undamaged and a very nice looking sort of necklace in the shape of a warthog's head.
Warthog necklace.
That is an amulet of natural armor +1.
I would like that.
You can have that.
Yeah, let me just put this somewhere.
You can have that +1 natural armor.
Yeah.
And the cape. I think it's cape. I'm not sure.
That's a cloak of resistance +1.
I'll take that too. I might as well consider it a trophy, all things considered.
So if the cloak of resistance, so +1 on all your saves.
Yep. He also has on him a very nice dagger that he never drew.
Well, there's also stuff that this person has too. She has things.
Yes. She has the suit of armor she wears radiates magic. A brooch she wears in the shape of a black flower radiates magic. No, it doesn't. Never mind. And a potion at her belt, a syrupy red potion, radiates magic. And she has a nice halberd. The brooch radiates magic as if it used to be magical, but is no longer.
Out of curiosity, I will brooch.
Why, that was a brooch of shielding that gave her 24 extra hit points.
Oof.
Hey.
I wonder why it took 3 of them to take her down.
Yeah.
What was the other thing?
A potion at her belt and her suit of armor.
Potion.
That's a potion of cure moderate wounds that she never got to drink.
You want to hold on to that for now?
I can heal both of us. It would be better if you had it, so while you drop, you can heal me.
Okay, potion of cure moderate. And of course the armor.
That you're not quite sure.
That apparently gives 0 shits about.
You could try that knowledge arcana check.
Do I though?
You look at it and you go, I don't know exactly what it is, but it's probably a +1 suit of spiked leather armor. Spiked studded leather armor.
That sounds closer to your kind of thing.
I just do not know if it's better than what I have. Because that's the armor I'm wearing that gives me immunity to diseases.
The armor has a total +4 AC, +6 max dex, and it's spiked.
So it's the same.
So it's the same AC. You lose your disease resistance, you get all spiky.
Nah.
Do you want to take it anyway on account of it being magical armor that's probably worth something?
Yeah, I'll take it anyways. I just want to equip it.
Cool.
And then I'm going to start dragging Corlander to one of the beds.
Okay. She is also alive and stable.
I'll drag her to the other bed.
So this room is an octagonal chamber. It has a 20-foot high vaulted ceiling, which is painted with an elaborate mural depicting a multitude of dwarven artisans raising their hammers high and immersing them in a great flame that fills the ceiling's apex. This flame seems to flicker and be real, casting orange light down upon the room. But the room is not as warm as one would expect from a furnace like that immediately overhead. A stern dwarf's visage is carved in bas-relief on the northwestern wall, and out of its mouth spews clear water into a large basin. Gems are set into the eyes of the stone face. Other than that, there's 3 sturdy wooden cots covered with wool blankets, a small wooden table, and 3 matching stools.
This doesn't look good. Damn.
Yes.
There's 2 people here, right?
Yeah. And?
There's 3 beds.
That guy did mention waiting for someone.
I'm sorry?
Without talking to Jim. Should we tie them up?
You still have your rope?
Yep. I can tie one of them up. Or I can get it in half and tie both of them up.
I have some rope.
And I will tie up Corlander.
Okay. Corlander is tied up.
Make sure it's secured. I don't expect him to be waking up anytime soon, but still.
I'll tie this. I leave it constantly.
Okay.
And then I'll take Tim's rope and tie up the girl. The same thing.
All right. The girl is tied up.
You don't use it like your wounds won't hurt.
Who are you curing?
Me.
All right. How many charges do you have left on your magic missile wand, Tonatium?
It fizzled out.
It's completely done. I think that means I made a pretty nice dungeon this far.
Can I have a little pick me up too, Turbo?
Yeah.
So,
Thanks.
are you going to heal someone to question?
Should we heal Corlander? He seems to be the most reasonable.
He can also cast spells. I'm not sure what he's capable of.
He's tied up. You can only cast spells that only have verbal component.
Actually, I'm curious what's beyond this room. So I'm going to stealth and take a peek.
There's a passage. A passage that has collapsed.
Ah, dead end.
Well, watching these two, they seem to be working for the vampire. They're probably resting.
Well, if you want to question him, maybe we should just turn back. Find a way through the fire.
He wants to turn all the way back right now. You still have a chance to put the vampire down. If we leave and question and then come back, he's probably going to be back up again.
I'm just not sure how much farther we can take this. Obviously, there's more than goblins here.
As far as we know, there's one more guy.
Gonna check if this guy has a book. A spell book or something.
You see no spell books.
He's a sorcerer. So, shall we question one of them? If you're not worried about his magic, we can question the lady.
I'm gonna check this door real fast again.
That door opens onto a ledge. A ledge that has a stairway leading up.
Nowhere in sight.
Although you're beginning to get a sense of how this whole little corner comes into that passage.
Well, if you want to interrogate them, do whatever. I'm gonna just stay out here and process what's going on.
Alright. Trevor will use Cure Light Wounds on Corlander.
Corlander slowly begins to stir, opening his eyes. He looks up and goes, "Well, it seems you have bested me."
It didn't have to come to that.
No, it didn't. You could have let me have my challenge of magic. It is as it is. I recognize and respect your strength.
So you want to work for this vampire, do you?
Not willingly.
Not willingly.
He smiles. Alas, I am sworn to secrecy.
Well, me and my friend here plan on taking the vampire down.
Good luck to you.
We already defeated him. He's just, we don't know where his coffin.
Alas, I am sworn to secrecy. Best of luck, though.
Make a sense motive?
Certainly. He's kind of stone-faced. He's got this kind of cocky grin on his face. And you can tell it's put forward, but you have no clue what he's thinking. I see you've taken care of that annoying demoness. My gratitude. If I were not so bound by oath, perhaps I would assist you. But my word is my bond.
Demoness.
Twig will come over. Maybe you should ask someone who's not sworn to secrecy. Twig will tell Turbo.
Corlander kind of looks in at you and narrows his eyes. I see. Seems I've traded an irritating demoness for an irritating demon. My misfortune. He keeps that cocky grin on his face. Death Skull, please, kindly return. And you can hear Teravu, Death Skull, going, Corlander, this guy's really nice, you should get along. And Corlander just looks at him. Death Skull, return. And you get the sense that Corlander has no clue what Death Skull is saying.
You should ask the lizard, Rick says.
You're gonna turn to Death Skull. Hey, Death Skull, you wouldn't happen to know where the vampire is, would you?
Death Skull shakes his head. Nope.
Worth a shot.
The Blue Duke met with him.
Who's the Blue Duke?
He's big and blue and has big horns and a big sword and an army of thousands of orcs.
That sounds lovely.
You can hear Tonatium like whispering to Twig, and then a long groan from the end of the hallway.
Death Skull nods. Yep. And Corlander negotiates contracts for him. And they march around and kill people for money.
Is that why Corlander's in an oath of secrecy?
He nods. Yep, he's not allowed to say anything about the Blue Duke's plans.
What about her? Several will point behind him at the unconscious girl.
She's also sworn to secrecy. She's mostly there to murder Corlander if he speaks a word of the plans.
Is there anything here besides goblins and Muju?
Well, there's the big vampire. And any time now, Zodin should be showing up. He's bringing in the first shipments of orcs.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Corlander's gonna look. Why are you clicking at each other? Death Skull. You idiot. Acid splash. He doesn't move a muscle, he just says acid splash. And acid starts dripping on Death Skull, and Death Skull goes, ah!
Pull Death Skull out of the acid.
Corlander's gonna look at you and say, I'm sorry. The oath is important. Acid splash. Death Skull is acid splashed again. Death Skull looks on the verge of unconsciousness.
I'm gonna stab Corlander.
You're going to.
With an arcane strike.
Okay. Yes, you will.
And I will put Death Skull in my pocket.
Yep. Corlander had a wonderful feat.
Still spell
Corlander's probably one of my favorite NPCs now that I've read his stat block. I'm like, seriously?
I should have known someone who casted Magic Missile with martial arts would have need to do the proper movements to cast a spell.
What if martial arts are the proper movement?
He's got all these feats that are defensive martial feats to up his AC. And then he's got still spell. This is great. So this seems like a great place to run this little moment. As you hear a voice shout, "Where are you? Goblins, to me!" echo through the whole cavern.
Uh-oh.
That hurt real badly. Root beer go down my windpipe.
Yeah.
So,
Yep, good session.
good session.
We're gonna die.
Yep. I told you we should have gone back when we could.
I think we're going back. If he's like coming back from the way we came, we would have ran into him anyways.
So let's see. We've got Corlander and Kalev and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sneaks. Oof, this was a big fight.
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was.
And then we've got 2 Goblin Riders. That's not a plus, that's a times. So we've got 2 of the Goblin Riders. 2 of the Wargs. An Adept. 5 Skirmishers. And a partridge in a pear tree. That's a lot of XP.
That is definitely a level up.
So, for purposes of dramatic tension, we're gonna let you video game level up this.
Yay!
It's actually not a level up.
Are you sure?
Next level up is 1,900 or 19,000.
50,000.
Pretty sure.
I thought we were at 15,000.
No, 15,000. Because we're fast, I think. Let me check. Character advancement.
You are fast.
We are the fast track. Yeah, we level up. We're level 6 now.
Woohoo! Well, next time,
Did I still have my native level?
it has not been a day, so you don't get your fortitude save yet to get over it.
Okay.
So, oof, I'm exhausted.
That was a wild ride.
You're telling us.
I'm gonna gather up the dead again. Have our corpse line up. Because I think that the corpse lineup is just impressive.
I did not think we would survive that.
So we got Goblin Rider. Where's the other Goblin Rider? There's the other Goblin Rider. Sneak and sneak.
I was very, very worried about when, like, the Goblin Skirmishers reinforcements came in.
No, you're fine. I'm on meat shield.
Your reaction there was just great.
Come on, you.
Huh?
At least AC wise. I will admit he has not nearly as enough HP as you, so.
Yeah, I now have, with my one level in rogue, I now have 42 HP.
Oh yeah, I should probably roll for mine. 1d20, it's... No, it's not a d20, it's a 1d6. D6!
It's not quite the same as impressive as last session's kill count.
Not quite.
But I feel it was more stressful because you didn't have the magic burn everything to death moment.
Yeah.
And you've gained Death Skull, who is not a familiar.
Yeah, it's just an animal.
Just a pet lizard.
A lizard.
A pet lizard currently at 0 hit points exactly.
Yeah. I have my my first level in the Knife Master rope.
Oh shit.
So I have sneak attacks that deal with D8. And one half my level on all sleight of hand checks make they conceal light blades.
Well, I have a feeling Drakthar is going to be very regretful for coming out of his coffin.
We leveled to level 6, so now I have energy absorption from my School of Abjuration.
What's that do?
Again, amount of energy absorption equal to 3 times my wizard level per day. When I take energy damage, apply immunity, vulnerability, if any, and resistance first, and apply the rest to this absorption. Reducing your total by that. Basically, I have like some spare HP when it comes to energy.
Yeah. That's nice. So we have our normal. What's your favorite moment of the session?
When I toppled over the wizard with a bunch of food.
Yeah, killing a sorcerer with a pile of food is great.
There's that, and my other favorite part, because I actually have 2 favorite parts of it, is the fact that some stupid goblin knocked himself out attacking rope.
That's great.
My favorite part of the session was almost choking.
I'm also glad I went with my gut feeling to not attack the summoned flesh monster.
Yeah. I love that you guys got a taste of magic missile.
After I just ran out of my own.
I like that you didn't even get the taste of magic missile. He was like, I'm gonna, beat the shit out of this little demon guy already.
I wanted to get you down and then have a force of magical wills with Tonatium where he was going to be throwing his high-level spells at him.
And I'm like all out of my... Well, I'm all out of damaging spells.
Yeah.
The only high-level spell I had left was Selective Alarm. I mean, if anything, I could possibly annoy you with Welcome to Shatter!
Well, look on the bright side, Antonio. If we hide, I can deal 1d8 extra damage. Just
but yeah, since they're video game leveling, I get to restock my spells. Yay!
Yes. As much as it would be amazingly dramatic to have you go into this final fight out of resources, half dead, I have a feeling you just run away and rest.
probably.
I would.
Yeah.
Not sure about now. Because there were several times I was seriously considering just leaving you.
Depending on how what creatures were in my way, I would have been fine.
And what was your least favorite moment of the session?
Things got pretty... I did not appreciate the sneak attack with the bolt in my back.
Now I can do the sneak attacks.
Woo! I have to admit, as a GM, my single favorite moment was hearing you go, "Oh shit," as all of the skirmishers rounded the corner. And then when you downed them, just the rider riding in. I knew you were gonna
yeah,
kick
like
the. I knew you were gonna kick their asses, but just the reaction of "oh shit, more goblins."
Yeah, shit. And yeah, this session I started noticing that my wand charge count was starting to get low, so I was like, oh no, I can't keep doing this.
I don't know. That was a strong wand, and you've been leaning on it so heavily.
Because I literally have like no other better attack option.
And now it's gone.
Gonna have to make you another one.
And that one was already expensive in the first place. You think magic items come cheap?
Yes.
We're lucky we're doing Pathfinder rules and not D&D.
Says the person who literally gained 2 magical items to help him be more defensive.
Be more defensive, but it's not going to help much if I'm unlucky.
It'll help enough.
Would it?
Yeah, you have +1 to your AC from the natural armor, and then you have +1 to all of your saves.
I should check out my ward and see if that improves.
I'm gonna turn off map tool.
I'll use the last bit on the fight since we're video gaming back.
Yeah.
For every 5 wizard levels, so it does not, but it does.
I have to admit, this dungeon has worked better than I was expecting. I was expecting it to be a massive slog fest, and it's ended up being just 2 or 3 massive battles, and it was wonderful.
Yeah. 2 or 3 massive battles kicking our ass.
Just the fact that there's that massive long tunnel, and that everyone can see down it.
I do not.
So yeah, I need to make an energy absorption bar by my HP, like to note that that's how much I can absorb before I take damage.
So my favorite thing that ended up not happening, you know those 2 guys that chopped your rope?
Yeah.
They were aware of you way back in that earlier fight, and they had actually let the other group that was on that other ledge know that you were coming. So they were going to wait until you were in between them and flank you from both sides with a crossfire, and then have the skirmishers come out. So while you were sneaking, I was making this roll of perception, but your stealth literally didn't matter because they already knew you were coming and were tracking your movements.
So they were hoping to flank us.
Yeah, you're going to be getting shot from both sides.
Yeah, I do have a counter plan for it if that were to happen, but I mean, I did have those 2 uses of color spray that I didn't use because I was afraid that Turbo would have got stunned or something.
That's all that could happen for you, though.
But yeah, but without being able to do anything, you would have gotten hit with more arrows, I think, instead of catching and deflecting.
Yeah. Hey, look on the bright side. If you stand behind the person that I'm attacking, I deal a lot more damage. If you put yourself in harm's way, or I think your cat, if I get flanked with your cat.
I guess it's time for the next time image, right?
Yep. Yeah, this is a good session.
Oh. Now the weird, creepy, flat demon paper thingamajig has a demon, has a vampire on.
Maybe.
What is that anyway?
Its name is Drakthar's Throne.
Huh. Maybe it's a flesh golem. Or like that. I'm starting to think of that one villain from Doctor Who. It was literally just a tapestry of human flesh with a face on it.
That bitch?
That's
Moisturize
the first
me.
thing I'm thinking of.
Moisturize me. That's not moisturize me.
I don't know how well my level 3 ability I gave her Master Ability help.
Well, if I can find an offensive ability for my magic
for my floating deaths.
No, ballpark. Would the ability to dodge light blades better than normal weapons be good?
It depends entirely on how many light blades you run into.
Yep. Because that's the level 3 bonus from Night Master. I have a +1 dodge to AC against anything that's a light blade attack against me.
Well, next time, probably the penultimate session of Drakthar's Way.
Yeah.
I think there's probably going to be 2 more sessions of this chapter. It's not a very long chapter.
Not a very long one, but very entertaining one at that.
Can you believe that, like, the advice on the GM's forums is to skip this because it's too similar to the last one?
No, it's a lot different in some ways. But that's probably because we went to the other one backwards.
Yeah.
So, like, that was, like, more like a prison escape, and this one feels more like an actual expedition. Like dungeon crawl.
Yeah. It's... oof. Just oof.
Yeah, lots of oof.
Lots of oof.
That's a oof.
Lots of turtles standing up in a team taking like 5 attacks.
Now it seems like it's time to check to see if I have anyone in this chat because we're calming down. Is there anyone in this chat? So I see Commander Root and Lurks, who are always here. And I see Host Me Raffle, which makes me wonder if I'm being hosted by someone. Probably not. And S1 Faka. Cool. There's people.
Yeah.
But the stats say I have 0 viewers. Okay. Sure.
Okay, Twitch.
Oof. I'm just tired.
Yeah, I'm tired to death. Another constantly fighting one man.
I mean, this has definitely been fight forever.
Yeah. If I immediately try something only to run into another fight.
From my perspective, this entire session has been one big fight because from that first fight, everyone who you fought until those last 2 people were aware of you. So I was tracking, okay, who's doing what, what's happening down here all the time.
I do love that I cowered into the hallway to save myself from the spear.
That was smart. Smart moves.
Yeah. Just have me up front and Kona TM 2 spaces behind me. She can't hit either of us.
Let's fill these rooms that are all burned with ash.
Downside to a reach weapon.
Well, she had the feat that let her do it at 5 feet.
The one you take a penalty, but you can use it at 5 feet.
Yeah, but you couldn't get to around the corner. Miss 1d10 plus 5 damage.
Yeah.
Oof.
I did not take anything up for dinner.
I'm gonna end the stream. Farewell, streamy people.